the ninth episode of Flowers and Friends. We are so excited to be here with you today. Our topic today is going to be nurturing by nature. What's that mean? You might be asking yourself.
Yeah, so it's really fun. All three of us are bringing a different focus to this. Whether you're nurturing your garden, whether you're nurturing your family or your community, we are going to talk about that today. And our special guest that we have on is Christina Berrigan of Floral Society, and she's going to teach us how she's cultivated this worldwide community of florists.
I am blown away. We've been behind the scenes, guys. So before we come on here, we get like 45 minutes to really get to know each other. And so this was my first opportunity to hang out with Christina. You guys have already been spoiled to her, but I have not. So I've been just gathering little tidbit of information. I want to thank everybody first off for being on here today. Ninth episode. We're encouraged. We're being loved on. You guys are sending direct messages. You're sending really kind comments about BloomTV in general. So we just want to thank you. We want to thank you for passing this video around. I had a friend say, I have learned so much. So
good.
That's everything. That's everything. So we just want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching every single week with us.
Yes.
And let's go ahead and just go straight on into that intro video because it's dance time.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I love this show. I love the energy and I love our intro because it gets us in the mood to have a really good time to enjoy. I mean, last week's show was incredible. We got to learn so much from each one of us. I really, really love the energy. We've received so many comments. Please keep writing to us. Tell us what is it that you like? What is it that you'd like to see in the future? And we want to thank you all for being here. In case you missed last week's episode, we have a short video for you. Workshops were a way for me to teach my community the joy of living with flowers. That's what I wanted to do there. But it turned out my students were not coming to learn about flower arranging. They kept coming because that was their weekly therapy.
I'm going to create just little feathery petals and I'm going to work them around in a circle. And you know, by looking at this, if I put some green stems and a branch, you know, by looking at it, it's a flower. And regardless of what my husband says, because he doesn't get abstract. Okay. He wants to know, well, what is it? What flower is it?
I would say a seed was planted in my heart to learn how to grow cut flowers to bring others joy. And I love using the word joy a lot because that is my mom's name. Her name was Joy. And I named my business after her, Blooming Joy Flower Company. And so Ana and I connected too with her, the joy of living with flowers, like it was meant to be. And so in 2018, I was like, I'm going to start a cut flower garden. I don't know how to grow cut flowers, but I'm going to dive into everything I can to learn about it. You guys, this is what I love about BloomTV. They have taken the flower and they have brought all of us together from around the globe, and many more people are coming, and they are bringing us together through the flower, and we all have different points of view. Like here I am, like I love to grow cut flowers and nurture the earth, and like I talk about that endlessly. And then you have, Dionne, the painter, she talks about how she paints the flowers. And Ana, I love that you teach people how to create these floral designs, easy enough that everyone can do this and enjoy the flower. And so last week was really fun getting to share our stories.
It was absolutely. And what I can't get off of my brain is a workshop in person. Where, like, after seeing your videos, I'm like, oh, here I am in my pretty dress, and I'm walking through Kara's cut garden, and I'm clicking, and I've got my baskets. Here we all are, and then we can go to the table, and Ana can just show us how to arrange. And then I'm like, after that, ladies, come on over here to the table where we're going to paint and we're all going to dance with our brushes. And I have it all envisioned. And I think that's what Bloom is doing as we kind of create this movement for what really feels really powerful. I think that like if I can go click on Bloom and I can learn something, but I'm also entertained. Even with, it's just been one of those things, that I'm so happy to be a part of, but I'm learning so much. And the feedback from everybody, like I mentioned earlier, has been huge about what they're learning. You know what I mean?
Yes. So I mean, I received so many emails, messages, and everything like, we love what you guys are doing for the flower industry, and not only for the flower industry. I mean, it's for the whole world, because we're bringing joy, hope, happiness. I mean, all these things that we're really missing in life, because this is a joyful channel. That's what you get out of Bloom TV. You get inspiration, you get motivation. It's all good, good, good.
Absolutely. And speaking of, like I said, before we went on here, I got to meet our guest, and learn a little bit about her. Anna, tell us a little bit more about Christina.
Yes, it's so amazing, because last week we were sort of talking about community a little bit, and that's why we decided, you know what, we need to invite Cristina Barragan. She is the leader in creating community. She is so talented. She is so dedicated. She has a wedding decoration business, but she's grown beyond that, because from her experiences, from being in a place where nobody was being able to share their knowledge with her, she decided, I need to make it easier for every florist outside. So Cristina created the Flare Society. And well, let's invite Cristina, because you guys are going to love her.
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Welcome, Christina. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. It's seriously an honor to be here with all you wonderful ladies. You're amazing.
Yes.
Well, it's a joy to have you here on our talk show, as well as a part of Bloom TV. And I'm really thrilled to hear what you have to say today. So thank you for joining us. I know you are a busy, busy lady.
Totally.
Yes, absolutely. And Christina, you personally hold a really special place in my heart too, because of you, I met Anna. And like, it's kind of been this whole like cycle. Like, would I have met Anna? Maybe, but we met because of you and this community that you have put together for florists. So thank you.
I love that. Yes. And you're not the first one to say that. There's been a lot of connections that have happened because of a collaboration of some sort, either a summit or, a bundle or something that we've done in the past, or just crossing paths on our website and community and things like that. So I love hearing stories like that. It truly warms my heart. I love it.
You are so amazing, really. Thank you. Thank you for everything you do for the florist community. You are great. Guys, you're gonna love her. Just like Karen, I do, just like Dionne just started too, and Monica. I mean, everybody loves Christina because you're so wonderful.
I think it takes a little. I have to add here though, because I really feel like it takes courage to do what you're doing. And I want to take just a minute to go, when you're pioneering, kind of, have you ever been called a pioneer in the floral industry, Christina?
Honestly, I don't know. I hear lots of people know me for specific things, like, oh, that's, you need systems, talk to Christina. You need this, talk to her. She's a teacher, So it's interesting to see how I'm perceived in different communities in different ways. And I love it, because I feel like I embody all of those things, but there's not like this one name for me. I think it's just, I love to do it all. I'm multi-passionate. I'm a school teacher, as many of you know. It's been my life, just passion to be an educator, and to be able to just pass that over into my business has been a great joy. And And now, now that we're back in school again, it's really ignited even a bigger passion of mine to bring flowers into my classroom. And so it's funny how it's like one went this way and now it's going this way. And now it's just all meshing together because of where I am in life today. I'm a mom. I have a toddler that's starting school this year. And so, I want these opportunities and experiences to be available to her and everybody else. And so it's just, life really does change everything you do. It's like you're in a season of life, and then literally the next year you'll be doing something else. And I find that so beautiful to be able to change and adapt. And we've been through the most insane 2 years. These past 2 years have been really hard for all of us. And so having that just adaptability and being able to move with the seasons and the seasons in your life, I think is something we all need to embrace and not be afraid of it. So I think that's the best way to describe how I'm perceived.
No, and I see that because I'm just meeting you, but I'm seeing that you're taking a step to better the community, and like you're bringing flowers into your classroom, into your schools. And if I reflect back, I have a regret of not asking my grandmother more about her cut garden or like what about flowers. And so if I could go back to being 8 or 9 or 10 years old, there is so much I could have learned, but I didn't even think to ask. Do you know what I mean? So I love, and I think that's a common denominator with everybody on the screen right here and with BloomTV. We all want to educate about flowers and the benefits.
And it's amazing that you're doing it with kids, because I started teaching flower workshops to kids actually, because my belief is that if you plant the seeds in them, they will stay with them forever.
Yes.
When they grow up, flowers will be a part of their life. But now it's like nurturing flowers, nurturing the earth. So that is so beautiful, Christina. We'll have to invite you again so you can tell us about how that project is going.
Yeah. And it's also, flowers are just very therapeutic. My mom, she was diagnosed with breast cancer about 10 years ago, and flowers, her helping me in my business was therapy for her. And, she's good now. She's, cancer free and misses it. She watches my daughters now, so she's not able to help me as much, but our kids today need therapy. They need these experiences. They need to be heard. They need to feel loved. And so me bringing this concept to the classroom for them to grow something from a seed and learn about how to do that and the entrepreneurial side of things is going to be an experience they'll never forget, because they're going to get that therapeutic experience first and foremost. They're going to learn to be disciplined. They're going to have experiences with all sorts of aspects of a cut flower garden and even herbs. And we're going to do all kinds of things. I'm so excited about this, you guys. I can't wait to do it. And it's just, I look back at what our kids have been through these past couple of years, and it's been insane, just distance learning, just recent current events that are affecting them and teachers all around the world. It's truly a passion. I get so emotional because you're
kids, making me emotional too.
Our kids need this, and it's something I can't wait to cultivate, and I know it's going to be great. So
yes, and Christina, you are cultivating something within these kids that they may not have any, may not be exposed to, unless a parent wants to garden with the kids, they may not be exposed to this. So you are showing them this life, and they may be a grown adult one day, and they may be like, I don't remember when I was younger. We did this garden at school. Maybe I should just try again. You never know how long it may take that seed to grow. But it may grow eventually.
And these are lifelong skills, right? Like lifelong skills that they can apply, like you're saying. And I love that. And I think it's just a beautiful concept. And I hope that, me bringing that to the classroom. And of course, like I was saying earlier, we were chatting before the show, and I'm like, Kara, I'm going to be using you so much because you have all this knowledge that I need. And I don't have a green thumb.
Yes.
Believe it or not, I work with flowers forever, but I need to have that discipline myself, like my mom does. And I'm excited for that, and cultivating a community in our school, because
Mm-hmm.
flowers bring people together, just like this show. I love that you call it Flowers and Friends. Like, it's so perfect, because it's exactly what flowers do. You know, we're all connected at the root with this common interest, but
Mm-hmm.
just the doing of growing and creating and designing, it brings us together in that common, you know, interest and discipline. I like to call it, it's like flowers are like karate, okay? Like, you learn a discipline in the making, and you learn a lot of lifelong skills with it as well. So I think that I'm just really excited to bring this to life with all the help of you guys, and also other people in our community who have already reached out and decided to guide me somehow.
I'm sure you're going to inspire so many, like you've inspired with this community for florists that you've created. I'm sure this is going to inspire so many everywhere. So I would really like to know how you began in this
Oh,
flower world.
yeah. Well,
Yes, please
it's
tell all the good stuff.
Oh yeah, my story is pretty common. I think a lot of us have started in this ways, but I started in the flower world at the same time that I started teaching, my teaching career. I was only 21 years old. I was a kid, okay? I didn't know what I was doing. Let me just say that right now. So if you feel like that right now, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't have a business background. I had no background in flowers or design. And so it just kind of fell into my lap. And as the years went on, and this is back in 2005, you guys, okay? 2005, this is a time of no Instagram, no
Right.
YouTube, no workshops. Nobody was sharing. I was like one of the few florists in the area. There wasn't even a lot of us out there. And so just kind of put yourself in those shoes, you know, having to learn everything from trial and error and experience. And so that was me the first 5 years of my business, making so many mistakes, expensive ones, and just taking those experiences to really create what I have today. And I still have not stopped learning. And I'm going to say that again. I have not stopped learning. Okay. I am
That's good.
still nurturing my soul with education all over. And it's not just florist education, but it's personal development. It's all sorts of things that help me grow into who I am today and who I want to become, you know, because we never stop learning anything. And so while that was happening, I was also teaching full time. And so there came probably in like year 7 or 8, it was bonkers. I was doing over 100 weddings a year. I
Wow.
was trying to teach full time during the day, then coming home to do design work and business and proposals and consultations, like all of this. And I'm only like mid-20s at this point. No idea what I'm doing again. So imagine that. And so I knew it came to a point where I'm like, I need to figure out a way. I had no team. It was just my mom and I and a few family members helping here and there. But it really forced me to systemize. And that's the biggest thing that I can tell our community is that if you are still on a hamster wheel, doing the same thing over and over, feeling like you're never catching up, it's time to create systems. It's time to streamline your process. It's time to start growing a team. Because when I did all of those things, life got easier and profitability got higher. And I was able to still continue teaching in the classroom because of that. Otherwise, I would have had to given one up, you know, and I wasn't ready to leave the classroom. I love my career so much. And so now people still ask me, have you retired teaching? I'm like, nope. I'm still there. Why? Because I have these things in place that don't require me to be in it all the time. Like I don't have to be in my business 100% of the time. I have
love
people
that.
that help me, you know?
Yeah.
So
No. I love that you make that point because you know you get asked, wait,
yeah.
Christina, how do you do all of this? How do you possibly do it? And it makes other people go, I could never do all the things, but you are so wise to implement the steps and the systems. And I think a lot of business owners, they fail to get those things in place and then they hit overwhelm and then they get stuck and then they kind of retreat backwards. So I love that your goal for education and the two really collaborate and they complement one each other so beautifully. I love that.
Mesh.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Christina, so you not only work full time as a teacher, which is amazing, you also have this thriving wedding business, but then also you have started this worldwide network, educational platform for florists called Floral Society. Tell me about that. How you started it? Why? We
Beautiful.
would love to know more.
Yeah. So Floral Society has kind of the same origins. It was created out of a place of need. I found myself, getting emails and DMs from people. This is when Instagram existed like 7 years ago. And people are like, where can I learn from you? And so it just grew from there. And so I was like, I need to bring my knowledge and my love of teaching into my business and into our industry, because so many people need help. And I don't want them to struggle like I did for so many years of not having a team, not having support, not having profitability. And I share this in my community all the time. I was not profitable those first 5 years. I didn't make a dime, but I was so burnt out and I knew something had to change. And so I look at people today, and a lot of people in our mentorship program tell me the same kind of stories and struggles. And I'm like, lucky for you, you have the resources and we're here to help. This is going to be a shortcut through all of that mess that you don't have to endure. So that is where Floral Society grew, and it's become this passion project of mine also, because we do a lot of community building. We do events. You ladies have been part of those things, summits, bundles. I mean, we love it. We love to empower our community and provide resources so that they don't need to just spin their wheels all day long trying to figure this out. And you're not alone. We want you to feel like you're not alone, because you're not, and supported, which is so important to make a successful business happen.
Why,
Absolutely.
Why don't you tell our viewers about the bundle that's coming?
Yes. What is this bundle thing I keep hearing about, Christina?
Oh my goodness. The bundle is so, so exciting. It's a resource. This is our third one coming, you guys. Okay. So it's a resource that has 25 different educators. As you can see here, a lot of them are designers. A lot of them are creative entrepreneurs. Many of them, I'm sure you've heard of them. Incredible people that are just people that I resonate with, that are just like me, want to give back, who are always willing to help in some way. And they're putting their resources into this little bundle. It's a mixture of 25 courses, memberships, resources, guides, templates, all sorts of things covering a range of topics for business and design. And we're doing it for $97, you guys. So not only do we want to provide education, we want to make it super affordable. And so you're getting, I think we tallied it up. If you paid retail for each of these things, it was over $3,500. So you're getting it for $100, like $97, right? And this is launching on Monday. You ladies are part of it, which is exciting. Thank you for being part of this. Yeah, no, thank you for saying yes. And that's another thing. I always like to thank our educators, because not a lot of people say yes to these things. And I do want to put that out there, because again, coming up from a place where nobody wanted to help me, it was a real thing where people just wanted to keep to themselves and not share knowledge, and were afraid to tell their secrets and whatnot. There are no secrets, guys. Everything's out there these days. Like, but why not here to get? You know what I mean? Like, instead of letting someone waste 5 hours YouTubing and Googling their way to some knowledge, we can share it in a much easier and affordable way. And so that's what I love about our community, is that they're always so willing and giving.
And I'd like it if you can share a little bit more, because most people will think this is only for florists, but it's not. Tell us a little bit about that.
Totally. Yeah. No, let me think. It was 10 of those resources are design related, and 15 can be applied to any business. So our bundles are diverse in the sense of, it's not just for floral designers, it's for business creatives, anyone who is trying to grow a profitable business. These are all things you can apply. And let's be honest here. Even the design stuff, who would not want to learn how to do design?
Right. Yes.
Right.
Like, you can learn how to do an arrangement in your home, and gift it to somebody, or just have fun with flowers. There's a little bit in there for everybody. And at least if you just buy it for one resource, you've already like made your money back. Like really, it's a no-brainer.
And where do they do all of this, Christina? Direct everybody that might be listening, because you're getting some fabulous comments over here. You're getting lots of love about the price. Yeah,
totally.
really...
Well, I think BloomTV is going to be sharing a link on Monday, because we launch on Monday, and I would love for Monica to share this with you guys. She's amazing. She's going to have something special for you all in the bundle as well. So there's going to be several links that are going to be going out on Monday when we go live. So just stay tuned for those.
And tell everyone, it's only going to be for sale for 5 days, right? You
5
can only
days.
get this for 5 days, and that's it.
That's
never
it.
goes on sale again. And
it goes away. And here's the reason why it goes away. And there's reasons for why we do this and for you to get access within 30 days. It's because we want you to take action. How many times have you purchased something and you never look back? Like you never do anything with it, right? Yeah. We want you to take action. We want you to download everything right away. And we want you to take advantage of this, because a lot of these are course creators that we can't offer that offering forever if they're offering it for 5 times the amount somewhere else. You know what I mean? So they're doing us a favor and giving us such a great deal, literally $1. If you think about it, it's like it divides down to a very low price. And so we can honor that for 5 days.
That's wonderful.
Wow. So if people want to get this link, they can actually sign up for BloomTV's newsletter, and they're going to be sending out the link to this Bloom bundle. Yes, you just go to bloomtvnetwork.com. You can subscribe there, add your email in there.
Yay. So, that's wonderful. Christina, thank you so much for coming on here and just sharing your knowledge and being courageous enough to pioneer. You see, what I love about business owners in this way is that they see that there's a need for something. And I love when you said you're still learning. Well, yeah, you are. Yeah. Isn't that a blessing that we still get to learn something new every day if we open our eyes up to this?
Totally. And I think we all need to embrace that. Don't be embarrassed to feel like you're still learning, because we're all still learning. We're all still investing in ourselves and our businesses. There's no way that we could just learn something and stay there forever. Like you'll be stagnant. Your business will be stagnant. Your knowledge will be stagnant, and you will stop developing as a human, So it's important to always embrace that change, and wherever you are in your life, and don't be afraid to invest in yourself, whatever that looks like for you.
Totally. And there's a question I'd like to ask from our viewers. Somebody's asking, and I'd like you to explain, is the course going to be recorded? This is not a live course. This is not something that's going live. Can you explain a little bit, Christina, what we are actually getting? The bundle.
Yes, the bundle is 25 different resources. Some of them are downloads. Some of them are video trainings. Kara is actually doing one that's live, so you can attend live or watch the replay later. Some of them are just, you get them. It's instant access to everything. So if it's a course, you literally sign up and you get access to the courses. But you do have access to download everything within 30 days. And then you have it forever. You can revisit forever as long as you want.
What a great deal. Well, speaking of learning lots of things, our girl Kara over here has learned a lot of things having a garden, and every single week she pops on, she does a little segment, and I'm like taking notes, because I think everybody has a secret passion for having their own cut garden at their home. No, even if they're have a little patch of grass somewhere. So Kara, what are you going to talk about with us today?
Yeah. So our focus flower of the week, I always like it to be what's blooming at my farm right now. And, just because I live on a farm, if you have a backyard garden, this could be blooming in your garden too. We're going to talk about sunflowers. And I think it's kind of universal. Most everybody knows, what a sunflower looks like. Most of the time they're yellow and super happy. Although I will tell you, there's some purple sunflowers out there. They're pretty cool looking.
Get out.
Yeah, there is.
I did not know that, Kara.
Wow.
Yeah, there is. So I wanted to tell you how we use sunflowers on our farm. So even though I'm a cut flower grower, and yes, I grow cut flower sunflowers, we actually use sunflowers to really cultivate our land. and our community of farm animals that we have on our farm. So real quick, I'm going to play you just a 1-minute clip of my farm and a sunflower field that is just starting to go into bloom right now, and then I'm going to come back and talk about it.
Wonderful.
Sunflowers aren't just a pretty flower on our farm. We grow a huge sunflower field every year, just like this, that's in bloom right now, and it's specifically to help cultivate our land and to feed our farm animals. For big sunflower fields just like this, we use sunflowers that do drop pollen because we let these grow up, bloom, we let the flower heads go to seed, and we actually dry the seeds and feed them right back to our farm animals. Our chickens love sunflower seeds, and our goats really love the leaves on the sunflower stalks. Another fun fact that you may not have known is sunflowers are planted and used to help clean up toxins, chemicals, and pollutants from our environment.
Oh, wow. That's incredible, Kara.
So for many years now, my husband and I have planted large sunflower fields. And the purpose of these fields, like the video you just saw, was actually sunflowers and corn mixed together. And it was just really like 2 days ago, the first sunflower heads started blooming. So if you follow me on Instagram, in about a week from now, they're all going to be in bloom in there. It's going to be beautiful. But we specifically grow this area so we can dry the corn and dry the sunflowers, and it's food to feed back to our farm animals. And we also have honeybees on our property. And so this particular field that you saw, these sunflowers drop pollen. And of course, our honeybees absolutely love that. And I'll tell you a story of a mistake that I made my first year as a cut flower grower. I didn't know this. So there are 2 types of sunflowers. There are sunflowers that drop pollen, and there are sunflowers that don't drop pollen. And when you're trying to grow cut flower sunflowers, it's better to grow the sunflowers that don't drop pollen. Otherwise, you might make a flower arrangement full of sunflowers. You know, if you have a guest coming over, and you may put it on your pretty white tablecloth, and the next day it's all yellow because all the pollen has dropped all over your table.
Oh,
and,
no.
Something
no,
I
Kara.
learned as a first year cut flower grower. I was like, oh, well, that's a little embarrassing. So there are better type of sunflowers to grow for cut flowers. And we grow them all on our farm because sunflowers is just a really nourishing flower. They're often used in disasters where maybe oil has been spilled, like there some kind of toxin is in the environment, because the whole sunflower plant can actually absorb these toxins, and they're used to help clean up the environment, which I think is really cool.
That is amazing. And are they edible?
Yes. I've heard the entire sunflower plant is edible, although I will say I've never eaten the whole plant, but I have eaten sunflower seeds.
Get out. Sunflower seeds is the only thing I knew was edible, and I have plenty of those in bags around my baseball community home here. But I'm like, you can eat the whole thing. The stems. Stems.
I've heard you can. I'm not as well versed on that. I don't know about the seeds, but I will tell you this. I've learned a lot about edible flowers just being on BloomTV, so I wouldn't be surprised if maybe you could.
I'm learning so much about sunflowers. I have a whole new respect for them, and I'm listening to you and looking at your videos, and I just think, Kara, do you just jump out of bed and want to run out to the garden and see what bloomed overnight? It's got to be magical every morning.
I do. I mean, I wake up every day and I walk with my coffee around the garden and go see what is in bloom. And actually right now my cut flower sunflowers are starting to come into bloom. And I wish I had one with me, but it was kind of a crazy morning this morning. But let me just tell you something real quick. So I've told you about the marshmallow trick.
Oh, yes.
I've told you about the wiggle test.
The wiggle test.
we have a sunflower like test sort of. So if you're growing cut flower sunflowers, if you have just one petal sticking up, all you need, like you have this and you have one petal sticking up, you can cut that sunflower and bring it inside, and that sunflower will continue to open inside of your house. You don't have to wait till it's full and bloom. And it's actually better if you don't wait that long, because the pollinators will have gotten to it, and that decreases the base life. So just so you know, if you have one petal sticking up saying hi, you can cut it.
Okay, so how long are they going to stay bloomed? Like once you bring them in, like Ana has I can't wait to see what Ana's going to do back there. Look at all that beautiful. But how long do they really stay bloomed? For example, I have hibiscus outside. I get one day and they're gone.
Yes.
What
about west?
Right. Hibiscus is very hard to keep longer than just one day. Sunflowers, when I cut it at this stage, I've had this certain type of sunflowers last 2 weeks for me. It does depend on the type of sunflower that is grown.
Well, I am completely and totally inspired. And I'm going to tell you guys so much that when Christina said we got to keep learning, because I can tell you right now, I do not know the best way to paint a sunflower. But I am motivated by your gardens, and I'm motivated by the arrangements I've seen Ana and, other florists that I follow now from BloomTV are posting sunflowers, and I'm really inspired by that. So we decided that this would be the flower focus, and I said, ladies, I don't paint sunflowers. Like, I'm a little intimidated. One is that they're very warm colors, and if you followed my work, you know that I like pinks and reds. And, I like blues and stuff. So not that I don't think that the flower is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm learning more about the benefits and how it actually helps your farm. It's not that there's something that I have resisted, and maybe it's because my insecurity didn't feel like I could do it justice. That's kind of what I'm, here to admit. So on Wednesday night, I have an online community, and I said, I'm going to try it tonight. I'm going to go live, and I'm going to have my own community walk me through step by step on how to do this. And I had a lot of people saying, Dionne, do this, and Dionne, try this, and sunflowers this. I learned so much. I even learned a little bit about why Van Gogh painted sunflowers. If you are familiar with Van Gogh, he had a whole series of sunflowers that really made him famous. And when he passed away, people were bringing sunflowers to his grave and placing them all over. And I did a little education, and I found out that they're a symbol of gratitude. And who doesn't love that? Right? Loyalty, gratitude, faith. And so after I did a little education in the last couple of days, I just want you to know that I'm feeling really confident about what I could paint. So I actually have all of the colors out that I created here the other night, and I'm going to paint another flower with you guys today really quickly. So be patient with me, but I'm going to scoot this up. I'm going to move myself out of the frame. And at any point, if you have any questions about what I'm doing, what colors I'm using, please always ask things in the comments, you guys. This is a talk show, and you, my friends watching, are included in this talk show. So ask away. I'm an open book. But I'm going to scoot back, and you can see here that I started with my leaves, and then I started adding my big, chunky, masterful blooms. So I'm going to scoot back. What I found to be the best brush, anytime you're going to paint petals that have a point, is an angled brush. This is a 3/4 inch angled brush, and it works really well. The key to getting a look that looks very professional is going to be loading your brush with multiple colors at the same time. So what I noticed in some of the sunflower images, especially from the Van Gogh, is that he started with a darker background, meaning colors like burnt umber, burnt sienna, and more of a mustard color. So this is so easy, you guys. So if you're shaking your head saying, I would never do this, I want you to know, yes, you definitely can. So I am just going to do easy. See, you just do easy. Create a circle in the center. Looks very juvenile at first, and I'm gonna cover all of that up. But I'm gonna start with like the double layer. I'm gonna do the bigger ones in the back that are darker.
Okay.
And then as I come into the center, I'm going to do lighter, and I'm going to do every other. So I'm going to do a line here and just keep going around. And you really can't mess it up, because I found that out. This is my very first painting where I've done sunflowers. Very first.
I can't believe that either.
I can't believe that either.
I promise.
So
I
funny.
wouldn't lie. But I also, having my community online with me the other night made me feel so much better about what I was doing. And they said, Dionne, do this, and Dionne, do this. But I'm going to ask the audience, I'm going to ask everybody in the comments right now, if you know why Van Gogh painted sunflowers as opposed to the other flowers that were definitely more popular in the 1800s. I'm going to see if anybody knows the answer.
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that one.
I don't either.
Well, let's see if anybody comes up with it. But you see how I'm just doing this repetitive motion? Remember when I was a guest on here for the first episode, it was just the same repetitive and you can tilt your canvas. The easiest thing is picking it up, tilting it around. But what I'm going to do, just to show you, rather than going all the way around, I'm going to load now the lighter colors. So I have a yellow.
Okay.
And an off-white. It's an off-white, and I'm loading them on my brush at the same time. And then I'm going to go right in the center of those, and I'm going to make this one shorter.
Oh,
so pretty. Oh my.
This one's shorter.
The question you asked, was it because they were more like affordable flowers that everyone can get?
That's a really great answer, Christina, and you're very close.
Common.
I would say it's probably part of it, but he wanted something that wasn't as refined. He liked that it was easier to find, it was considered kind of a casual flower, but it was also something that there was an abundance of, and so nobody wanted it. It wasn't exclusive, and I think that's what he loved about it. And after he passed away, his paintings became more and more famous because of that. So I didn't know any of this, and I can thank all of you guys for kind of pushing me off, pushing me out there, because who doesn't love to learn something new? I feel a sense of excitement when I get to learn something new and absolutely paint something new. So I'm just going to keep going around like that. You want to make sure that the center, sometimes, Kara, have you found that in this one, the way I describe this one in the bottom is that it's been open longer, right? Like the honeybees, everybody, what's the right words? What word am I trying to say? The pollination?
Yes, you're on the right track there. Yes, yeah, I see that, because actually in real life, like real sunflowers, the little circle that you did in there, like that's really what they look like once the bees have gotten a hold of them. I love that. And, I love that Van Gogh used the sunflowers, even though they were very common. It was almost groundbreaking, maybe, that he did. And what's interesting about the sunflowers is, I didn't say this in my segment, but sunflowers are often used to break ground because they have a deep tap root. And so if you have a ground that hasn't been worked, that needs some work, people often plant sunflowers to help start working that ground and cultivating it. So sunflowers are truly spectacular, and that even though they're so common, they have so many purposes in nature and really cultivating our earth.
Well, I feel like I should definitely name my painting after Christina, because that is exactly what she's doing.
Yes.
I'm going to call this one Christina's Garden, because
I'm going to buy that painting from you.
No, you're not. I'll give it to you, but that's awfully sweet.
Beautiful.
But this is kind of my own, reflection of what you're doing and how you're inspiring your community, my friend.
Thank you. Can I invite you to do a painting lesson with my students? Because we did art last year and they loved it. I would love it.
Yes, and yes, and 3 or 4 more yeses. Yes.
Thank you.
Definitely. Absolutely. Thank you for letting me paint with you all, you guys. And I just want to encourage anybody, if I can do this, you can, because this is my very first one. So I'm excited. Yes, ma'am.
Someone in the audience wrote in Spanish and is asking me to translate. She's from Spain and she's saying, my other passion is painting. When she opened up her flower shop, she started doing her own cards in black and white. But you have inspired her to lose the fear and get the brush out. So thank you very much.
Thank you for that message. I appreciate you. I appreciate your comments. We all do very much. And if it's the only thing I can do today is to inspire you to pick up a brush and get some paint on something. It doesn't even have to be a canvas, but play in the paint, my friends. It's so rewarding.
Love it.
Oh, and now
Thank you
Anna.
so much, Dionne.
Oh,
This
thank
has
you,
been
Kara.
fabulous. And I think Miss Anna has some tips for us on how to arrange sunflowers.
Yes, definitely. I love it. I love it. And okay, first, my first flower tip today is to always put an apron when you're working with flowers because they will stain your clothing. And actually, there are a lot of natural techniques where you can stain cloth with flowers. So it's really hard to remove the stains. So always put an apron. And well, one of the reasons I love flowers so much is because they allow me to bring the seasons into my house. I love being able to bring nature inside my house. And for me, some flowers are like the symbol of summer. They're so bright, they're so yellow, they're so happy. Yellow is my favorite color because of that, because it brings joy, it brings happiness. And we live in a fast paced world where we're always running, and we eventually end up like, I can't believe we're in July almost. Where has time gone? And I always tell people, if you bring flowers, seasonal flowers to your life, you can take a pause and be like, no, time is not flying, because I remember I had daffodils in the winter. And then vernacular season came in the spring and I enjoyed them for weeks. And now sunflower season is starting. So it helps you like pay attention to time and not think that it's actually going really fast. So I love bringing
That
seasonal flowers to my life, and I invite you to do that. You can get different flowers every week of the year, and it will really lift you up, like, oh, summer, I'm so happy, and stuff like that. So do it, really. Okay, so I have this base that I pre-arranged because I wouldn't have the time to do it. Can we show them the pictures of how I started it? It has chicken wire, and if you see, there's a penny in there.
why the
And
penny? Why?
yeah, because copper is a, I'm not sure if I will say it right, fungicide.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, and it kills bacteria. And
Oh.
some flowers are kind of, they start to rot really easily, their stems. So with the copper penny, it helps kills bacteria, so the flower lasts longer.
Well,
And
thank
I
you for that. I did not know a thing about copper, and I didn't have no clue. Oh, you got some
and
big ones.
and they say you can do it with most flowers, but I actually only use it with some flowers, and it actually helps. It helps. It's like those miracle things. And I love sunflowers with the jello center. I mean, I have the ones with the black center, but I like these ones better, like for the end of summer and early summer. I prefer the ones that are all jello. So I already did put some Sweet Williams and Ireland bells. Why? Sunflowers can sometimes be like very tricky to put in a vase. And since I'm trying to help you do it in an easy way, if you can fill your vase with bushy flowers like the Sweet Williams, and then give it some movement with Ireland bells, it's going to be so easy to insert your sunflowers. You will not have to wire them. I don't like wiring my flowers. I think it cuts their lifespan. So I try to not put anything or damage them. I just, oh, let me get my clippers. I just look at the stem and see, okay, If I put it like this, it's going to look downwards. I want it to look upwards because I want people to be able to see the flower. So I measure first, always measure your flowers. Oh, I'm going to use a yellow one. I'm sorry. But it's the same. You always need to look at the shape of your flowers. This one's facing that way. So I'm going to invert how I place it. Instead of putting it like this, I'm going to put it facing up. And because I already have so much stuff, it will help it stay and it will not move. And I'm not using any floral foam. It's just the chicken wire and the rest of the flowers that I have. And that's for me the way. Always measure your flowers, cut them at an angle, and just move between your base flowers. I love using Sweet Williams and Ireland bells. We grow them locally here in Baja California where I'm at. And I love being able to use local flowers that are actually in season, help the agricultures and all the people working in the fields. And they just look so pretty. They just look so summery.
Yes, Ana.
pretty.
So the chicken wire. I have a question. I see yours is green. Is there a certain type of chicken wire I should be using?
Well, the green chicken wire rots not as fast as the other one. And I like to reuse at my house. I like to reuse and reuse and reuse everything that I'm doing. So this has a really small, it's coated, I don't know what, but it will not rot. And it will last. Actually, I've had it in this vase for more than a year.
Oh, I love it.
So I always have my vases ready to just add them flowers. And what I like to do with the sunflowers is first I will put them very tight, close to the base, and then I will start playing with different depths.
So for those that aren't in your zone, Ana, for those that are, let's say in my zone, or Kara and I are both 7, but let's just say someone is in another zone, but can still get sunflowers. Do you know of any other flowers that also look really good in an arrangement like what you're doing?
Oh yes, I love using status. You can also use yarrow, which Kara has in her farm, and I love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you don't have Ireland bells, I think people where I live love Ireland bells because we have them most of the year. But you can use stock. And because I wouldn't use like snapdragons because they are so thin. So we want something that is bulkier. That will fill in more space because that will help your flowers stay where you want them. And
that makes sense.
Easy. That's something that is actually easy. Like Dionne's always saying, anyone can do it. You don't need to be a floral designer. You don't need to have like all the experience and get scared about it. Put some chicken wire, add some water, get some filler. Filler would be like something bulky. And the second picture, and always place them at an angle. Don't place them straight because then you will not be able like to fill the base. Always place them at an angle. And once you have your first base, which is the Sweet Williams or carnations or yarrow, then you add like the pointy flowers. Ireland. I like Ireland bells because the green contrasts with the yellow so beautifully. I mean, this is like my perfect sunflower arrangement. Pink, yellow, and green. It's a
party.
I'm happy.
It's a party. It's a party. Vanessa is on. If you remember, Vanessa was the one that joined us on our Instagram live. She says she's in zone 5 and she uses Heliopsis. Did I say that right?
Heliopsis.
Yeah.
Did I say that right? And it's a perennial. She uses that when she mixes when she puts in with her sunflower. So Vanessa, thank you for that. I look at a sunflower and the arrangements, the bundles, and I just see a party. They're usually used in celebrations and joy. And like you said, summertime. With the 4th of July coming up for the holiday, I know we're going to see a lot more of those everywhere we turn, right?
And I want to take this opportunity with what you said. Yes, special occasions always require flowers, always. But you don't need to wait for a special day to get flowers. I
Don't.
mean, if you have flowers every week in your home, I guarantee when you walk into the room that has flowers, you will immediately smile. It will
Yeah.
be inevitable. You will walk through that room and you will turn to look and you will be like, and that pause, it's gonna bring so much wellness to you. And I think that's part of why Christina's mother was so happy when she was helping with the flowers, because flowers have this energy that they feel you, and you're like breathing so much when you're working with them. It's always like,
Yeah.
and that's actually what we need.
Yeah.
So
It's true.
please send me pictures, do sunflower arrangements, start the summer with a sunflower arrangement and tag us, because I would really love to see what you're doing.
So pretty.
I would love that too. And I'm going to answer Pilar. I'm not sure if I'm saying her name correctly, but she said she loves the spatula technique. And I just want you to know, yes, I do use the palette knives very often. These are actually my own collection. So I love that technique as well, my friend. And Ana, I love that you said you don't have to have flowers first. Don't wait for a special occasion. We talk about that. It seems like in every episode, don't we, ladies, where we say,
Yes.
it doesn't matter. I'm not even opposed to grabbing some weeds. It doesn't matter. They're flowers, they're blooms. It's like whatever you have, celebrate it today. It's like, don't wait on the china. Don't wait on the fancy candles. Don't wait to give yourself flowers.
Exactly.
I love it.
Absolutely. Well, ladies, this has been such a fabulous segment.
Oh my gosh, it's already been 56 minutes.
We've learned a whole lot.
Time flies when you're having a good time with flowers and friends.
Yes.
Yeah. We learned a whole lot about building a floral community today. We've learned about sunflowers. Oh, and yes, right there. So you can go to BloomTVNetwork.com and go to the Flowers and Friends tab. And we actually are going to be doing a giveaway each week. Yes. And you can go to that tab, go to the sign up here for our weekly giveaway. And it is for, let's see here. Yep. Hang on. Sign up and get entered into our weekly giveaway. Be sure to watch Flowers and Friends each week live at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Winners will be announced during the show. So you can enter the giveaway to win a subscription to Bloom TV. And Dionne, how about you fill us in on the extra?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I actually also want to be able to be a part of the giveaway. So I will be giving away free paint because I want to do anything I can to encourage you to paint. This is the paint that I use. It's a clay-based paint. It's all natural. There's no VOCs. And this is the stuff that I paint with on my hands, guys. So when I'm doing all my finger paintings, I have no problem with this. I've even been known to put it on my nose, my lips, because, I mean, I really needed to know. Can I really do this?
Right.
So I'm just diving in and getting my fingers in there. But I'm going to give away also for the giveaway some free paint. So make sure you get entered to win, my friends.
Yes, and please sign up. Follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, on everywhere. On Instagram and Facebook, you can find us as Flowers and Friends Talk Show, right?
Flowers and Friends _ talk show.
Underscore talk show.
Absolutely.
And follow us, like us. I mean, we really need your support right now. We need you. We need you to show up. We need you to tell your friends, because we have huge plans for this show. And this is only going to keep getting better and better. And it's thanks to you guys that this will be a reality. So right now we're asking all of you to share about our show, to tell your friends, to be with us every week, because we love that you guys are here and we want to keep growing the joy of living with flowers.
And don't forget that we have this beautiful commercial every week for you guys. So don't go anywhere. We want to show you our beautiful commercial. Thank our sponsors as well before we go today.
We have built the world's first flower-focused streaming network. bringing the public educational and entertaining shows that highlight the magic of flowers. Learn how to heal through flowers, cook with flowers, design your living space to reflect nature, make crafts using florals, sustainably garden, and so much more. We are your network for all things floral. Join us at BloomTV as we help bring beauty to the lives of people and the planet through nature's most beautiful creation, the flower.
Thank you for being with us, you all. You can find it all in one place at bloomtvnetwork.com.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. And please be sure to join us next week. Christina, thank you so much for being here with us today. And please, Kara, tell everyone why they need to be with us next week.
Because everything is better with flowers and friends. Bye, guys.